Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes. Okay, you see, I didn't have to tell you. I love it. You did a whole shoulder roll.
Yeah.
I didn't have to coach you to that, so that makes me proud. Welcome, Za.
Thank you for
How
having
you
me, Christine.
doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well.
So we'll start with a little introduction. Everyone, this is Za,
Okay.
Azara.
Mm-hmm. Azara's government name, but I go by Za.
Yes.
Um,
So I'll go first and then you could go ahead and introduce yourself. So I'll just let the people know how I met you. I met Zah through a mutual friend in St. Martin. That was when you guys were doing the honeycomb was the first time I met you, but I've seen you around. But
yeah.
and she also participated in Kingdom Sisters, and that's how I got to know her even more. Such a sweet, sweet, sweet spirit. Both her and Maya. I have to throw that out here. So I'll let you introduce yourself, and I didn't tell you guys why she's here. I'll say it after. Go ahead,
Yeah.
sis.
Well, yeah, I'm Zara. You could call me Za. The same like Christine said, I met her through a mutual friend, and we've deepened a relationship through Kingdom Sisters. And I know I've been MIA for a while, but Christine, I need you to know like you play a very big role in my life, like from the Kingdom
Don't do
Sisters.
that.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it because it's the truth. It's the truth. You're such a sweetheart and genuine spirit. I know it's my introduction, but I just want to let you. I just let her know that every time. She's such a blessing. But anyways,
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
that's me. I'm from the island of St. Martin, born and raised. I'm like free spirited person. Jesus is my daddy, and yeah, we out here. It's
Yeah,
not
we
much.
out here. So thank you, Zah, for that beautiful introduction, and thank you for encouraging words. Because a lot of times when we receive it, we want to automatically shut it down. So thank you
Yeah.
for that. I'm learning to be more receptive of it. So the reason that we have Zah on today's, I was gonna say podcast, on my interview is because she has a podcast, the
Hey.
Pride's
The
Palm.
podcast, the Price
Okay.
Bomb podcast.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's one part. And I also want to speak about your experience with moving to, well, not moving, your trip to Tanzania, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So we'll start with Tanzania and then we'll transition into the Prize podcast,
Yes.
Prize Palm
Yes.
podcast.
Yes. Yes. The
Okay, I
Price
have it
Bomb
written down. I'm
podcast.
like, I don't know why I can't, I'm not saying it well, but let's go. So Tanzania. So as you mentioned, you're from St. Martin and you recently went on a trip to Tanzania.
Mhm.
How did that come about? Like the decision to actually leave St. Martin to go, and how long did you stay? What did that process look like? It's a bunch of questions together.
Well, I'll just start from the beginning, how it started. Because
Okay.
in St. Martin, you go to school, I did everything like you were supposed to do, quote unquote, society
Okay,
tell
that
you to
wait
do.
one time, one shot, one shot. This is something I'm trying to implement at the beginning of my I keep saying podcast, my interview, and I
Mhm.
forgot to ask you. It's like a little ice. I keep yeah. It's like a little icebreaker. Okay,
Mhm.
so the icebreaker is attitude of gratitude. What's one thing that happened throughout this week that you are grateful for? That's one. Or you could share a scripture that you use that keeps you motivated. I know the Prize Palm podcast is filled with scriptures. So I know that won't be too hard for you to,
And
share
so
with us. So
I'll do the gratitude. So
okay.
that was this morning self, like I just started therapy. Like, yeah, I
Oh.
just started therapy. Yeah. And I prayed and I asked God, like, please send me like the right people like to speak to, like I just
Mm-hmm.
want like I want to be God sent. And
Mm-hmm.
then to my surprise, I got two. There was this lady like
Mm-hmm.
helping, like, doing a session, but she had somebody shadowing her, and like the information that they gave me was just so reassuring and just to know that it came from God. So that was
Mm-hmm.
this morning before you.
Okay,
So I'm
awesome.
grateful for that.
Awesome. I'm a big proponent for therapy. I've done it before and sometime in the future I might look into it as well because we needs it. We
We
needs
need
it.
it.
We need a
We
professional. I mean, we
do.
have our friends that we could vent to, but it's different when you have a professional that can pinpoint certain things, and some things that you may thought was normal but it's not. But kudos to you, sis, for taking that step, you know.
Thank you, Christine.
So
Thank you.
now moving into your decision to go to Tanzania, coming from St. Martin. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So leaving St. Martin, like, I went to school, I came back home, you're trying to get all settled in or whatever. And I just realized, like, Christina, I was not happy. Like, when I'm going to work, I'm like, to be doing this every single day, I'm just not happy. I'm just not fulfilled. I feel like it's just more I could be offering the world myself, but I'm still trying to figure it out too. Don't have all the answers. Just like, I just know I'm not supposed to be here at this moment, and I just wanted something more. Nothing too not it's not anything too deep. I just wanted something more. Anyway, pray about it or whatever, and I decided, yeah, that I'm leaving St. Martin. So I packed up my stuff. I left. I went to like Georgia for a bit. I was there for a couple months, working and stuff. Then I decided, okay, I just want to move gone again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. You remember my Kingdom Sisters too? I'm like, yeah, I've been in the Netherlands. I left. I went to the Netherlands. I ended up staying there for another, I think I was there 4 months. So now while in the Netherlands, they were on lockdown. So but I still enjoy myself. While in the Netherlands, I'm like, okay, I'm going to time to come back to the US, settle in life, do the things again, work, save, do all these things, Then I'm like, Azara, I'm going to go to Tanzania. It's just like that. But Tanzania is not something that came out of my head just like that. From small, I always had this desire to go to Africa.
Okay.
I thought it would have been West Africa, but I ended up going to East Africa. And then the reason now I want to go to Tanzania, because Tanzania have, the tallest freestanding mountain, which is Kilimanjaro. And I had a desire to climb this mountain.
Oh.
So while I'm in the Netherlands, I'm like,
very adventurous.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go research. Maybe I could go to Tanzania. You're already here, you're already like halfway there across the globe. So from the Netherlands, we could just go to Africa before I go back to the US.
And Louis said, this is all trips that you're doing by yourself.
By myself. By myself. And Christine, when I tell you, like, I don't know. And I spoke to God. I pray about every single thing I was praying about. I'm like, God, I really want to go to like Tanzania. Like, and I'm scared now because I don't know. I'm like, am I going to go? Am I not going to go? I'm like, I really want to go. Please, please, please. And then I research. And then the thing that stood out to me about Tanzania was that how friendly the people were. People were saying like they're very friendly, they take you in, very hospitable. And to me, that sold me because I'm a people's person. And I was coming really from a low vibrational type energy when I leave. You're down, you're trying to figure your stuff out. And then I'm like, I just want to do something for enjoyment, for just, I don't have no other reason, Christine, no deep. I just want to
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy myself. I just going on the battlefield to live, baby. And then I booked my ticket, and then I was out, and I booked it for 3 months, not knowing anything. Nobody there. I know nobody.
That's brave.
Very.
That's brave. Did in your decision to, I know you had to share it with family members, friends. Was anyone against your decision to leave? Or like, Zah, where you going? Why are you doing it for?
No, because they kind of know me that I kind of like, I don't want to say crazy, but I kind of like on the spur.
Really? But Tanzania, I mean, it's far from home.
It is, but they can't stop me. One.
True.
Secondly, I trying to think like my mom was just like, yeah, be careful. I just tell them because in case something happened, I like people to know where I'm at. So I just let her know. But she didn't like stop me. She just like, okay, Zah, like I'm going anyway. And I told a couple of my friends, and I'm not sure if maybe they believed me at first until it really happened. So I don't think they really believed. But I kept talking about it. I kept mentioning, like, I want to go to Tanzania. But I don't think they believed me until I actually like left and I was like there.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So definitely a cultural thing with me because my family would have been a whole, where you going? Like it would have been a whole different ballgame if it was me. But Okay, going forward to Tanzania, how was that once you were there?
So leading up to it, I did have fear because I'm like, oh my gosh, I bought a ticket. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the plane. I had
Nerves.
nerves, but then I was
Mm-hmm.
excited because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to expect. And
Mm-hmm.
I like a little danger. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
not bad, a little excitement. And then when I got there, I was pretty relaxed because again, I had tried to do as much research as I can. So,
Mm-hmm.
COVID was like still a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, the guys I was speaking to, because it was a
Oh,
program
okay.
I joined
Okay.
first,
Okay.
and it was to teach kids English, like
Okay.
little kids, yeah, English. And I
Nice.
felt like just so I could be guided a little, I tried to be a little strategic about it because you in
Mm-hmm.
a program, they're gonna help you, you're gonna take tours, you would kind of have like feel it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
speaking to the guys beforehand, the guys who
Okay. Okay. Okay.
operated the
Okay.
program.
Okay.
So, they I'm like, show me videos, show me this, me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I need to know
Mm-hmm.
like where I'm staying. Let me see the
Mm-hmm.
setup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So uh,
Okay.
and I send locations to my friends, like so they know like where I'm at all
Mm-hmm.
times in case something were to happen,
Okay.
safely.
Okay.
But when I
So go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, I just say when I landed, it was just the fear was kind of gone, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
just excited to see what it had. And once I met the guys and I could feel them out,
Mm-hmm.
it made me a bit more comfortable. Yes.
Okay. So what stood out to you while you were there? What was something that you were able to like take in? Something that was different from where you came from that was like, oh wow.
I feel like a wow moment was how super duper friendly they are. Like they
Wow. And
really
you come from the friendly island.
just I really is trying to put I really not trying to put my little island in that light. Yeah, I love it. But these people are really friendly, Christine. Like
Wow.
super friendly. They go
Mm-hmm.
out their way.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be alone. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
not. I'm there by myself, but I feel like if it was a place for people to solo travel, it would be
Mm-hmm.
Tanzania. You're not gonna be alone. And think about
Mm-hmm.
it. They speak Swahili there,
Mm-hmm.
and they speak English too. But a lot of places don't speak English, but
Mm-hmm.
they
You try to
they just
accommodate
really,
you.
yeah, very hospitable, go out their way to
Mm-hmm.
help you.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice people, really, really
Okay.
and truly. So
So
that
what did
stood out
you
to me.
take for away from your trip then?
Okay, what I took away from my trip is that there are good people in the world, like good people
Mm-hmm.
do exist. I took away too that, I could have a lot more patience because
Mm-hmm.
they have a saying which is like pole, pole,
Yeah,
and
I
pole means
remember.
just pole. Pole
Mm-hmm.
means slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like ordering food, you're waiting for a bus, a taxi, or something, like just we know it a little bit too coming from the island life,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's no people are not in a rush to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from America, everything is instant gratification. Want
Mm-hmm.
to you got it. It
Exactly.
just slows you down a little bit to enjoy life, to be in the
Mm-hmm.
moment, relax.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine. No
Sure.
rush. So
Exactly.
uh,
So, okay, as you're mentioning polling, that's one of the words that you use on your podcast. So we're
mhm.
going to transition into your decision to launch your podcast. Was it something that you've been wanting to do, or is it something because of through your trip it led to you launching the podcast?
Through my trip, it led to me launching a podcast because, again, even though I gone on my trip, I still have God with me,
Mm-hmm.
like I read in that scripture that stood out to me. I think it's Psalms 92:12, and it says, the righteous will flourish like a palm tree, and
Mm-hmm.
I just, any scripture, you just like hold it to you. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
that's nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call it the Prize Palm Podcast because it's, palm trees represent like resilience. That's what I got out of the scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And when palm trees are the wind are blowing against them when they're under duress,
Mm-hmm.
they could bend almost to 90 degrees, but they do not snap. And the more
Okay.
they are being the wind tackling them, going up against them, they don't cave. They it actually make them stronger and they grow. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, Zai, you're a palm tree girl, you strong. So
The
I
way
just
you're describing it, I'm like, that is so inspirational. And what is the purpose of your podcast? The Prize Palm. I was gonna ask you, how did you come up with the name? You already answered that. So what is the purpose of it? What is your goal with the podcast?
My thing is just is three words, right? And I feel like it's the value of the core value of the podcast, which is
Mm-hmm.
to discover, to grow, and to add value. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
not just me, everybody in our lives, be it big or
Mm-hmm.
small, yet
Mm-hmm.
you're discovering. In your
Mm-hmm.
discovery, you should grow, because if you're not
Mm-hmm.
growing, you're stagnant. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you grow, to not make it about you, like I'm not just making it about Zai, it's like how can I add value to other
Mm-hmm.
people? And I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
all should be doing that. And I
Mm-hmm.
love community. I don't know, I like community, and I want to try to attach the things, everything that I do to my life, like with a purpose, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want people to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like in whatever you're doing, like how are you
Mm-hmm.
adding value, not just for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, but to other people?
Mm-hmm. With you launching the podcast, were you nervous about doing it? Because I know initially with Honeycomb, you had your partner there with you, but this time you're doing it solo. How was the thought process for you to launch it, and how did you prepare for it?
Uh, I wasn't I wasn't nervous I really wasn't nervous, because it's just something I want to be able to create things and do the
Mm-hmm.
things that's in my
Mm-hmm.
heart. And
Mm-hmm.
Honeycomb, yes, Maya she might not be on this podcast physically with me, but she's still
Okay.
in my life. You know what I mean? She's still
Yes.
my friend. She's
Yes.
still in my life. I can still
Mm-hmm.
call her.
Mm-hmm.
When I launch it, I just really think about what I want to portray, what I want to say. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I have a voice, I
Mm-hmm.
have experiences, and I just want to share them. I don't really have a deep explanation. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to share the things that I've been through, and I just want
Mm-hmm.
to talk. I good at
Mm-hmm.
talking. I could talk. So
And you have the voice for it. I've told you I love to hear your voice.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Christine. So that's really it, Christine. I wish I could say too, like I have this full direction of where I want the podcast to go. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
Those for now, those was the three bases I try to base it off of, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what's happening in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see where it go from there. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do this whole travel thing. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
will it turn into a travel podcast. Who knows? But
Who knows?
the beautiful thing about it is that it could be whatever I want it to be. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
one way to do things.
Mm. You know, as you're saying that, the thought came to mind, the scripture too. I know I'm not going to quote it, but paraphrase. That's the word. You start with the small and then it'll grow out to, bigger things. And I'm going to use this opportunity to say that sometimes we want to have the blueprint of like all the steps that we need to take, but God is telling you, no, just start with this. And then as you go along, maybe it turns into a travel podcast, but just be committed, or just use what you have in order to see where God is leading you to do. One of
Mhm,
the episodes that you had was G for gifts, and how
mhm.
God places a gift in each and every one of us. And I love the analogy that you use, or the dream that the lady had. Expound on it just a little so that people will know what to expect from your podcast when they go on it, because it's
Yes,
fire, it's lit, it's inspirational.
thank you. Yes, the dream. Okay, so it was G for gifts, and like Christine said, we all have gifts. And to
Mm-hmm.
paraphrase, long time ago, this lady, I was obsessed like with near-death experiences. I'm so morbid. And the lady had a near-death experiences. She went to heaven, like
Mm-hmm.
and she got to see her family, blah, blase, blase, Jesus taking her around
Mm-hmm.
heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, she was just explaining like how, giving us a reflection of how our life is. And she
Mm-hmm.
said she saw her life beginning to end. It was a big
Mm-hmm.
screen. She saw
Mm-hmm.
she did things she forgot that she did. The
Mm,
good things, the bad things, the small things. And
mhm,
anyways, as she's journeying through heaven now, she said sadness came over, and she's like, God was like crying, like, and she felt it, and she's like, why are you sad? Like, what happened? And then
mhm,
he's like, look, and he showed this long staircase, and she said how she's describing it. She's like, the staircase goes up, like it's a not staircase, shelf. The shelf goes up like thousands and thousands of feet in the sky, like all the way up, like her eyes can't even see where it ends.
mhm,
And
mhm,
she says, God was like, all of this is the gifts that I have for my children, and
mm,
that they were unused gifts. And
mm,
God was sad and he was hurt because the gifts didn't have you know, that she said it was all sizes, all colors, you know, and they all were clothes and had a bow on it. And they were specifically for different people, but they did not get to use it. And it made God sad because he had a gift for them, but they didn't receive it, or you know, they didn't fulfill it. And I was like, wow, that really touched me. That really touched my little soul. Oh Lord, I got goosebumps.
But as
And
you're describing it too, there were different sizes and they had bows on it. So they were all unique and beautiful.
yes,
Right? And imagine you give a gift to somebody and you took your time, you know, you pick it out. You know, Christmas, we like to do the whole gift thing, exchange thing. You're gone, you take, it's like, oh, I think Za would like it. And then you give it to Za. You come by her house, you see it still in a box. You would feel bad.
Of course.
You know you will feel
of
bad.
Course.
And as you're explaining it, I remember I was listening to a motivational talk from something from Miles Monroe or what's his name? Les Brown, one of the two. That the funeral, the cemetery is filled with persons, like basically they pass away with the gifts. And I'm like, I don't want to die with the gifts that God has given me. You know, the persons that are connected to what you have to do, you know, like the person that what you're supposed to do, it's connected to someone. So it's like you're taking away that blessing from that person. Although sometimes it's scary to take that step. Maybe it might have been scary for you to start your podcast, but at the moment it feels that way. But once you start, trust God to take you through it. And as you mentioned earlier on, you say you pray to God all the time. And it's important for us to do so in each and every step that we take in life, not that we're dependent on us. Fear is something, it's human.
Yes.
But we can't allow it to keep us stagnant, to keep us from growing. Comfort feels comfortable now, but
yeah.
Give me the uncomfortability. Like, give it to me. I'll talk to God and be like, God, why? Like, why you choosing me to do this? This doesn't look like something I would do. But he knows what he placed in you. You know, you can't tell him, I don't have it. I can't. I mean, you can, to be honest, so you can be honest with him. But he knows what he placed into you. The Prize Palm podcast is based on life too, you could say. Because you would go through certain situations in life, and the analogy you use, that it will bend but you will not break.
Yeah. You know, and I just think it's just a purpose. God just show us, like, sometimes you just have to go through stuff and it builds character in us, and it's just a part of the journey. You know what I mean? And for him to use a palm tree, like, it's like, wow, like, you know, it's things you never thought about. It's like, of all trees, why a palm tree? And then you go and you Google and read up on a palm tree. It's like, damn, I didn't even know palm trees do all this.
So give us a few examples as to why it stood out to you even more than, like, after you've done your research. So we know bend and not break, and it's a quote that I've heard a few times, but what stood out to you and was like, oh wow, God, this is it? Or do you, go ahead with that, and then I have a question after that.
When I say, like, I didn't know, like, when the winds blow, like, the roots really grow stronger and deeper, like the scientific things behind it. I never, you know, you see palm trees going, you're just like, okay, but you never really give things thought. You know what I mean? And for him to say, like, some versions say, like, the godly will flourish like a palm tree planted in the house of the Lord. You know, they will flourish. And it's like, it just gives me to, like, I have to stay with God. Like, I just speaking from my thing, like, I have to stay with God. And to stay with God is just a reminder that you will flourish and I will be planted in the house of the Lord, you know, and no matter what I go through, because I have gone through things, you know, I'm not exempt from life. Life, you're gonna be faced with challenges, you're gonna have adversity. And it's again a reminder, you're gonna bend but you don't break, and especially if you have God on your side, you know. So I don't know, it's just encouragement. Sometimes you get down and you get defeated. I get discouraged sometimes, Christine, and little scriptures like that serves as a reminder to me. Is like remember who you are, and then remember who you are in God.
In God, and it's for you to remain planted, like your roots, because as you mention it, I see it. I know it's from Psalms, but I'm not sure if it's the same one, that once you're planted by the river, so basically you continue to get fed, but the fact that you stay grounded in God, regardless of what happens, you will continue to grow, will continue to flourish. So with all that being said, you mentioned that life will happen, things will happen, like you're not exempt from going through certain things. Neither am I do believe the fact that we know God, it helps the journey go a little, I wouldn't say easier, but that you can depend on God, right?
Yes.
So what advice would you give someone right now that, I think you already answered it, but here goes, that may be going through something at this very moment? What encouraging word can you leave with them?
My thing is, I would say, like, don't pretend. I feel like pretending don't get us anywhere, and if it does get you anywhere, it's just getting you there for the moment. Just do the healing, and you will learn, like, the healing is continuous. It don't stop. It don't stop, Lord. It don't stop. We want it to stop, but it don't stop.
It's a journey.
It is, but just don't give up. Go to God, do the internal work. That's also on a podcast where I have, like, reflection questions. I think it's important to reflect, to journal, to have some type of outlet, healthy outlet,
Yes.
to get your emotions out, because you have them for a reason and they matter. And keeping things inside, it's not helping. You have to share it, not with everybody, but you have to share them with the right person. Go the extra mile to do what you have to do, become the best you, and know that you're gonna be okay. Things are going to get better, and you will flourish like a palm tree if you give yourself a chance to.
Okay. You hear how just listening to your voice right now is so soothing. The podcast, yes, your voice is. So you doing the podcast is definitely one of your callings, sis. And where can people find you?
Well, people can find me on Instagram at The Price Palm Travel.
That's the way you're saying it. Okay.
The Price Palm Travel. I changed my Instagram name. Okay. And I have a YouTube, The Price Palm Travel, TikTok, The Price Palm Travel.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm still in my journey. Okay, God is doing something with me, guys. It's not 100% there yet, but your girl is journeying.
The fact that you're starting with what you have is what's most important. God will definitely bless you for it. Quick, you said YouTube. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel connected to your.
It's me just starting. You guys gonna go on and see I have 1 subscriber, TikTok 1, because we are just starting out.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I look forward to it. With all that being said, as Zara, thank you so much for being on my YouTube channel.
Thank you, Christine, for having me.
You're welcome. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to go on, you can find her on Spotify, I believe, Apple too.
Yes, you can find me on Apple, anywhere where podcasts are casted. And my podcast is The Price Palm Podcast, not The Price Palm Travel. That's just The Price Palm Podcast. It's Price Palm Podcast.
Okay. And then you can also find her on Instagram, and it's The Price Palm Podcast Travel. Sis. Okay, I will link all of those things below so that you all can find all of them at the designated names. Thank you again, Za.
You're welcome, Christine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Okay. The bloopers.
Don't go yet. Now let me stop recording.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I will get. I just have moments like
no,
that.
That's not the song, sis. I thought it was a motivational song.
I know that's not the song. I'm sorry, but that just came in my mind.
It's okay. I lost the question.
Don't lose it.
Oh, girl.
These type of things happen, Christine.
Yeah. We could always edit.
Oh, I forgot about editing.
We could always
I'm
edit,
trying to
girl.
stall.
Or this might be a blooper. We'll see. Are you hearing me now?
Hello?
Because now you're frozen.
Wait,
Okay,
hello?
you're good.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. It's
Oh my
me.
gosh.
Are you hearing me?
Christine.
Hello?
Breaking up. Christine, I
Yes.
can't hear you. It's breaking
Can you hear
up.
me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Okay, I'll send you a text.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you seeing me?
See you, girl. See you, girl.
I don't know if it's my internet or your internet, but we're here now.